Good day, my name is Mendoza Miguel Raymond Gagarin, and I will be presenting my research titled Design and Development of Photoluminescent Material Gloves with LED Light for Bikers in Metro Manila. And to give you an overview on what the title is about, cycling is the use of bicycles for exercise, recreation, sport, as well as transport. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, biking has surged in Metro Manila due to the limited operations of public utility vehicles such as jeepneys, buses, and taxicabs. This has pushed many Filipinos to turn to cycling so they can make their way around the metro. Although long before the pandemic, a bill introduced by Honorable Carlo Alexi Bendigo Nograles and Honorable Jericho Jonas Bendigo Nograles, named the Bicycle Act of 2016, has been pushing Filipinos to turn to cycling as an alternative mode of transport. The bill was supposed to protect and promote the right to the health of the people, instill health consciousness among Filipinos, and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. However, bike-related accidents have continued to rise despite the Bicycle Act of 2016. With the sudden increase of bicycle riders came a sudden increase in road accidents that involved bikes. In 2020 alone, there were 3,026 road accidents that involved bikes and pedicabs in Metro Manila. 2.40 of the 125,010 road accidents, 1,267 more than 2019's 1,759 bike-related accidents, 36 of which were fatal. Through the statistics shown, it is visible that people have resorted to using alternative transport solutions such as bicycles. In the process of choosing a topic, I used the World Health Organization's framework of Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Particularly, goal number 3, good health and well-being. It is said that the goal is to halve the number of global deaths and injuries from road traffic accidents, strengthen the capacity of all countries, in particular developing countries, for early warning, risk reduction and management of national and global health risks. Moving on to goal number 7 is increase substantially the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix and expand infrastructure and upgrade technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services for all in developing countries. Another goal is the industry innovation and infrastructure. It aims to upgrade infrastructure and retrofit industries to make them sustainable, with increased resource use efficiency and greater adoption of clean and environmentally sound technologies and industrial processes, with all countries taking action in accordance with their respective capabilities, and support domestic technology development, research, and innovation in developing countries, including by ensuring a conducive policy environment for inter alia industrial diversification and value to addition to commodities. Another goal is sustainable cities and communities. It is to provide access to safe, affordable, accessible, and sustainable transport systems for all, improving road safety, notably by expanding public transport, with special attention to the needs of those in vulnerable situations: women, children, persons with disabilities, and older persons. The issues in this study are the following: the visibility of cyclists on where they are going during nighttime and rainy weather, the rise of bike-related road accidents in Metro Manila, and another problem that Filipinos are facing is that Metro Manila's roads are not bicycle-friendly. But with the 9.5 billion peso fund that the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, the Department of Finance shared that the sum of the interventions for the transport sector include the development of accessible sidewalks and protected bicycle lanes throughout Metro Manila, spanning 644 kilometers covering circumferential, radial, and other major thoroughfares. The objectives of this study is to help cyclists be seen during nighttime or rainy weather, to give another safety gear option for cyclists, and to design a sustainable and efficient design for photoluminescent signal gloves with LED light. The beneficiaries of which are the cyclists, the motorists, the pedestrians, and the environment. One of the theories used in this design is following architect Sullivan's principle of design, form follows function, which states that the shape of an object should primarily relate to its intended function or purpose. The study of photoluminescent signal gloves with built-in LED light for bikers covers the said principle. The primary function of the gloves is the cyclist's safety, to make cyclists be seen where they are going, especially at nighttime or rainy weather, as well as to make cyclists feel comfortable, particularly during long rides. Therefore, the form of the gloves is to be made using mesh spandex for breathability, reinforced leather for extra grip, sweat-absorbing material, shock-absorbing foam, LED panel, and photoluminescent materials such as strontium aluminate for safety. Another anchoring theory that contributes to this study is Think Global, Act Local by Geddes. Think Global, Act Local is a principle that one considers the impact of one's actions. With this groundbreaking sustainable study, the designer can help make the world a safer place for cyclists and motorists. Moreover, one more theory that supports this study is the principle of defensive design. Defensive design is the practice of planning and for contingencies in the design stage of a project or undertaking. With the use of photoluminescent materials on the glove, it practices mistake-proofing the design when the batteries that power the LED signal light get drained, by absorbing enough light from either the sun, street lights, or light from the LED turn signal itself. Strontium aluminate will illuminate for a long period of time, making it sustainable. Also, when the rechargeable batteries which powers the LED light get drained, it can be replaced with the non-rechargeable ones. Another underpinning story, another underpinning theory in this study is the principle of dominance. Dominance is a design element that is meant to catch the eye. Using LED lights and photoluminescent materials highlight an important piece of information for cyclists and motorists, which is the turn signal. Also, it is used to create a sense of order as it guides the eye to something. And to explain the process of engineering design process is a series of steps on which engineers and engineering teams are guided as they solve problems. The design process is repetitive, meaning that the designers repeat steps as many times as needed, making improvements along the way as designers learn from failure and unwrap new possible designs to come up with better solutions. The first step to this process is to identify the need and constraints by answering questions such as what is the problem to solve, what does the designer want to design, what is who to whom is the design for, what does the designer want to accomplish, what are the project requirements, and what are the limitations to the design, and what is the designer's goal. The problem to solve in this paper is to design and develop effective signal light gloves that uses LED panels and photoluminescent materials. The gloves to be designed and developed in this study are for cyclists to use to be seen where they will be going. The designer in this study aims to accomplish to design and develop a sustainable and efficient turn signal gloves. Meanwhile, a limitation to the design is the design may not be able to eliminate the possibility of an accident, since there would still be human error made by motorists, cyclists, or pedestrians on the road. Rather, it would lessen the possibility of road accidents if people will know what the design is for. Nevertheless, the designer's goal in designing and developing effective turn signal biking gloves is to keep the cyclists, motorists, and pedestrians away from harm, as well as to make the world a better place and helping the environment by making a sustainable design. The second step is to research the problem by talking to people, particularly everyday cyclists, road experts, engineers, scientists, and fellow designers, to assist with the researching what products or solutions already exist or what technologies might be comfortable to the designer's needs. The third step is to develop possible solutions to the design. This would be done by asking opinions from experts or knowledgeable people with this study. The fourth step to this process is to select the best possible solutions by revisiting the needs, constraints, and research from the earlier steps, compare the best ideas, and select one solution and plan to move forward with it. The fifth step is to build a prototype and make the designer's ideas real. The early versions of the design solution will help the designer verify whether the design meets the main objectives. The sixth step to engineering the design process is to test and evaluate the design by trial and error and answer the questions: does it work? And does it solve the need? The designer will gather the results and analyze on what works, what does not work, and what could be improved. And the last step to this process is to improve by redesigning if needed. The designer will be discussing how the design solution can be improved, make revisions, draw new designs, and iterate the design to make the product the best it can be. By now, I think you would be asking, why not design turn signals for the bike itself? Well, to answer that question, mounting turn signals on bikes will have drawbacks. Namely, the turn signals can be stolen while the bike is parked. The placement of lights under the seat is not very visible. And I am saying this as a cyclist and a driver as well. Also, it's cumbersome and time-consuming to mount. And signaling in front and behind requires two sets of mounted turn signals. LED turn signal lights are better solution because the gloves can't be stolen off your bike and the lights on the gloves are more visible. And that ends my presentation. If there are suggestions, questions, and comments on my title, I would gladly take note of them and answer them respectively. Thank you very much.